my name is Talia Harinarain, and today I will be speaking to you about my collage. This is the first visionary board that we had to make called #BeTheTeacher, and this is my collage presentation based off everything that we did in service learning this year. My collage presentation has my teaching practice experience, my community service learning project, as well as my link to my visionary. The reason I created my collage presentation was to show my experiences in service learning through pictures. When I decided to become a teacher, I did not realize that it was going to be such an enormous amount of work. I love working with children, and experiencing it firsthand in the classroom was such an amazing time for me. And in my first week, I was really nervous. I didn't know what to expect because I was new, I was learning. And in my second week, I got used to it. I got used to the children, and they were an absolute pleasure to work with. I got used to the environment. And in my third week, I was utterly sad because we had to say goodbye. And I was not ready to say goodbye. I wanted more. The experience was so fun, and I learned a lot that I can take with me throughout my years and also take with me to further my career. Next up, I'll be talking to you about our community service learning project. I was delighted to work with 3 other students from my campus to make our community service learning project a success. The name of our campaign was Main Street Books, and the school we decided to help out was Durban East Primary School. The reason why we wanted to help the school out was because they did not have a library. So our aim was to open up a library with funds that we collected from bake sales. We opened up to the community to donate books, as well as we started a reading program for the learners where they could start reading more often and they can benefit from our campaign. Also, the other aim of our campaign was to get books donated to inspire young learners to read as often as they can and make school and learning an adventure instead of always going to school to learn a specific amount of work. In this case, they could open up their young minds to a broadened aspect of what there is out in the world. Teachers reading to students, and there's a book drive. And here there's more references to bake sales. So that was what was important to us, to raise as much money as we could so we could open up the library for. Next up, I'll be talking to you about my teaching practice experience. So I did my teaching practice in Woodview Primary School, and I was honored to do it in my primary school. So everybody welcomed me with such open arms. And when I went to the school, it was not what I expected. I was nervous, I was scared, but the teachers, they were so helpful, they were so kind, and they were always willing to help me in anything that I wanted. They gave me great advice, and as you can see here in my poster, the job of a teacher is not only to teach, but to multitask. And that's what I learned, to multitask, because there's always going to be learners all around you asking you for things. There's going to be teachers asking you for admin work, and there's always going to be something that needs to be done. So the pros and cons of my teaching practice were, some of the pros were, I really enjoyed it. I worked well with the students. The teachers, they understood I was starting off, and they were willing to guide me and show me the way in marking registers, marking books, showing me the daily routine of what goes on in a normal day at that specific school. So I was quite honored in working with them. The environment, it was clean, it was neat, it was safe, it was such a clean, positive environment to be in. So I was absolutely delighted to be a part of that school. As you can see here, there's some of the quotes. Teaching, some days are impossibly hard, which I felt when I went home in the first week. I was exhausted, but as I got used to it, I found my way. And here you can learn something new every day if you listen. So with reference to my collage, I took some of these quotes along with me in my journey to my teaching practice, and I applied it there. And the learners were so eager to learn that it made me happy to be there. Some of the negatives were, because I was a student teacher, the teachers tended to take advantage of me. They put me in smaller classes, and because I was dealing with much older children, I wasn't ready for the much younger ones. So it was a bit rough for me starting off there, but I gained to love children even more. And with reference to my collage, here one quote that I took with me to the children were, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." That really touched me because I inspired the learners to always take whatever knowledge they can and apply it. It's always important to learn every day, and you learn something new every single day. I love working with children, and I would love to pass down my knowledge to the future leaders of the world. I was scared to take the path of a teacher, but my teaching practice changed my experience. So now I will be talking about my visionary board. So when I first started, I thought I want to be the successful, inspiring teacher. So to reference my visionary board, I have smart, creative, girl power. I was so happy. Success, I was so happy, and I was thinking, oh, this teaching practice is going to be so easy and I got this. But when I went to my first teaching practice, I was I was humbled. So here there's a picture of the teacher multitasking, as well as here where the children did not listen. But one of the positives were successful. So for me, achieving one of my goals were having the children to actually listen to me, which I was really happy. I was a very outstanding teacher. I did my formal lesson. So with reference to this picture here, I was a bit nervous, but the class went well with me. I showed them my poster, I explained my lesson, and I did a lesson on adverts, so they were well engaged. And my mentor teacher, she gave me very good advice about how I just need to maintain more discipline in the classroom, because when I asked questions, all the learners wanted an answer. So I didn't know where to start. So the class was a bit rowdy. So she gave me a lot of good feedback. And when I first started, when I chose teaching, my dream was to pursue my teaching career in Korea. So you can see the different references to Korea in my board. So these are the links to it, that no matter where I end up in my teaching practice, I want to further my career in South Korea. So that is my link. And these are some of the quotes that stayed with me. Be focused, be persistent, and never quit. That's what kept me going in my second week. Second week was quite hard for me, but I pushed through, I persevered, and I absolutely enjoyed it. And here, teachers change the world. I believe that teachers are responsible for the future doctors and for the future leaders of the world. So we play a really big part in this world. Every day is a chance to learn. And with that, I would like to conclude my collage presentation. I want to thank Mrs. Latuli for being such an amazing lecturer and for helping me through service learning. I learned so much, and I am so happy to take the knowledge that I have with me to further my career.